Take a look.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes, and it's Wednesday, so you already know what that means. It's time for your AEW Dynamite review. And this is a very special episode, guys. It's a lot of business moves going on, big business. AEW Big Business taking place in Boston. And you already know what it is, man. This is the big official debut of Mercedes Mone in All Elite Wrestling. She's official tissue. She's All Elite, man. She got the graphic. She got a cool entrance. The way the show started, you had Renee in the back, you know, she's running down the show, trying to tell us what the matches are, but as she's talking, a car pulls up, so then it cuts to the crowd. They're excited, they're chanting AEW, and then this music hits. It kind of sounds like Imperium with a little bit of the hip-hop sprinkled on top of it, and it's none other than Mercedes Mone. She's making her debut, man. She's walking out to the people, she's walking out in Boston, her hometown. And she's got a huge reaction. As soon as the music hits, you know, people started speculating, is it? And then her name pops up on the Tron. People pop for it. Mercedes walks out onto the stage. People pop even louder. So it's good that Mercedes got this awesome reaction in Boston. And according to WrestleTix, I think the number of people in attendance was over 9,000. So that's a pretty good turnout for Mercedes, and it's a good turnout for AEW. That made a huge difference, man. People were just going crazy. They were up for Mercedes as well as the rest of the show throughout the night. And Mercedes, she lets her mission statement be known, man. She lets it be known that she is officially home in AEW. She's back home. The crowd is chanting "Welcome home." They're chanting CEO. She talks about how much wrestling means to her. She says that wrestling saved her life. And she's ready to take AEW international. She's ready to take it global, and she's ready to lead the women, you know, to the future. So that's a good look, man. Mercedes comes off as a huge star, which she is, man. You don't have to agree with me, but you can't deny the fact that this woman comes off as a big star. So she lets it be known that she's official tissue. She's All Elite. And she also mentioned that the main event of the evening will be between Riho and Willow Nightingale. And we're just going to go ahead and fast forward to that, because before the match even took place, you had Riho in the back getting ready, and she meets Mercedes, and she, you know, I think she spoke Japanese to her, which was pretty cool. And then you have the match take place, Willow and Riho. Willow ended up getting the win with the power bombs, you know, good for Willow. And then after the match, she's celebrating, you know, she's celebrating with the people, you know, being the great ball of energy that Willow Nightingale is. And then the lights go out. And then you see Julia Hart standing at the top of the stage, and then Willow is attacked by Sky Blue. So as they're putting the beat down on it, the people are chanting CEO, CEO, CEO. And Mercedes comes out and makes the save, you know. She did a whole outfit change, you know. And Mercedes makes the save for Willow Nightingale. She beats up the House of Black. And this is the first time we've seen Willow and Mercedes in the same ring since last year, when they had their match for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, I think it was. And, you know, Willow ended up getting the win over Mercedes. So there's a little bit going on right there. But the interesting part about all this was the fact that Chris Statlander didn't come out to help Willow. So that's something to keep your eye on. So as the show comes to an end, you have Mercedes celebrating, you know, the people are chanting CEO. And, you know, it's a good way to end the show. You know, Mercedes is already being made to look like a superstar in the division, and not only the women's division, but in AEW, because, you know, throughout the night they have the picture-in-picture commercial break, whatever. And there was one commercial where you saw the AEW type commercial, and Mercedes was already a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So AEW is so far so good. It's looking like they're doing right by her, and we're gonna hear from Mercedes next week on Dynamite. So, man, this is week 1, day 1. We'll just have to wait and see where this goes. Hopefully Tony Khan doesn't screw up the booking. I don't think there's any way you can, but then again, you know, It's Tony Khan, so I'm just hoping and praying that he does right by Mercedes, and in turn does right finally by the women's division. So that's pretty cool to see. As far as the rest of the show goes, the opening match of the evening was the AEW Championship match between Mr. Wardlow and Samoa Joe. And before this match took place, you saw Samoa Joe talking to Renee. He's talking about how he's going to whoop Wardlow's ass. And then they go to a video package of the Undisputed Kingdom, mostly Adam Cole. And he's talking about the Undisputed Prophecy and, you know, how he saved Wardlow. And this was the first time, I believe, that they've really shown MJF since World's End, I think, man, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that is the first time you've really seen MJF in this video package. So it's looking like he could be coming back in the near future. So keep an eye on that. And then as far as the match goes, it was two big meaty men bumping meat. You had Wardlow doing flips and swanton bombs and whispering the winds, and Samoa Joe doing that thing where he walks away. The first time it actually didn't work. Like, he tried to do the walk away thing, but Wardlow, he's a smart cookie. Samoa Joe ended up getting the win by choking out poor Mr. Wardlow. So, seeing as that was his opportunity at the AEW Championship, I really don't know what you do with this man going forward, because AEW's done a pretty decent job as far as building up Wardlow and making him seem like he could possibly be a threat for the championship. You have the Undisputed Kingdom saying that, oh man, when Wardlow wins, he's going to hand it over to Adam Cole. But that was his opportunity, and he won clean. And Samoa Joe won clean, won fair and square, clean as a sheet, man. So I don't know exactly where that leads Wardlow. But after the match, whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve comes out, and he's looking pissed off. He's beating up referees. He has to be very careful because he doesn't want to get fined and suspended like Hangman Adam Page. But he's out there. He has a chain wrapped around his fist, and he wants another crack at Samoa Joe. He wants another crack at the AEW Championship. So I'm assuming that Swerve and Samoa Joe are going to wrestle at Dynasty. I think most likely that's what's going to happen. But yeah, man, it was a pretty okay match between Wardlow and Samoa Joe. But I don't know what Mr. Wardlow does after this, so we just got to wait and see what happens with old Wardlow. So after this, we see the EVPs with Okada. They're talking to Alex Marvez. And, you know, they're trying to give him a hard time. You got Nicholas, you know, he's being a hothead, but Matthew, he's being the voice of reason. He's being very calm. And then you have Okada, you know, trying to give Marvez a little bit of crap. He told him to sing. I think it's Matthew's. He told him it's Matthew's birthday, so we wanted Marvez to sing Happy Birthday for Matthew, and he actually did. And then this leads us to our trios match: the Elite taking on 2/3 of Death Triangle and Eddie Kingston. And the whole time it was building up, this match was building up between the big face-off between Okada and Eddie Kingston. It looked like they were going to start off the match, but, you know, Okada tagged out. And it's always good to see Pac back in the ring. And it's just something about for seeing Pac wrestling AEW with the tunnels. It kind of felt like that old school AEW, man, just with an updated look. But as far as the match goes, man, the old EVPs, the Elite, one with some trickery and some treachery. One of them hit the low blow on Eddie Kingston. Okada hit the Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. And then it was announced that next week, Okada will be facing Eddie Kingston for the Triple Crown Championship. I don't think it's going to be the Triple Crown Championship. I think it's just going to be the, not the International Championship. What the fuck is that title called? The, Continental Championship. I'm thinking Okada's taking that championship home because this is the first time this title is going to be on the line by itself. So I think Big Kazuchika is going to win it. And, you know, you got to call him by his government name, just like you do the EVPs, because, you know, as it's stated on his passport, his full name is the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. So you got to say it all together like a Tribe Called Quest and a pimp named Slipback. So after this, we see a video package from Adam Copeland and Christian Cage hyping up their I Quit match next week for the TNT Championship in Toronto. And then after this, we see Will by God Ospreay. You know, he's coming out to the ring. He's happy. He's very happy to be here, you know. And he has big energy. And he's addressing Bryan Danielson. And he tells Bryan Danielson that, you know, this match means more to Will than it does to Bryan, because it's his opportunity to really solidify the fact that he is the best wrestler in the world. And, you know, he kept mentioning the fact that people have been saying, the big saying is restore the feeling. But Will Ospreay says he is the feeling, bro. And at Dynasty, he's going to whoop Bryan Danielson's ass. He's going to beat the vegetables out of this man. And, you know, the thing I liked about this is Will Ospreay is very high energy. You know, he's very relatable. He's very likable. And the thing I also like is you didn't see the damn Don Callis family out there with him. I love that. Thank you, God. Thank you, Allah. So after this, you see a backstage segment from Deonna Purrazzo. And I think either on Collision or next week, it's going to be a tag team match between Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May and Deonna Purrazzo and a partner of her choosing. The streets are saying that Britt Baker is going to be coming back pretty soon. So, yeah, that should be interesting, you know. So after this, we have a grudge match between Jay White and Darby Allin, who is competing in his last match for a while. Because after this, he's going to go climb Mount Everest, and hopefully he doesn't die along the way. But yeah, man, this was a really solid match between Jay White and Darby. And they did a good job of showcasing the fact that, you know, Darby landed through glass. So he was all cut up, man. He was all jacked up in the game. He's all bandaged up. He came out looking like a mummy. And Jay White took advantage of that. He kept slamming on his back. Darby went for a coffin drop on the outside and ended up landing on the hardest part of the ring. And it looked like Darby was going to lose by a count out. And he made it in at the last second, only to get hit with the Blade Runner 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, you know, it looked like Jay White was going to shake Darby's hand. Psych, you thought, because the Bullet Club ended up beating this poor man. And then it looked like they're going to like take out his leg with a chair and a baseball bat. And then the Acclaim come out. And they're like, what are you doing, Bullet Club? What are you doing, Jay White? This isn't how we do things. It's Darby. He's cool. You know, he's about to go climb a mountain or whatever. And, you know, the Bullet Club are like, man, our bad. We're sorry. Psych, you thought again. Because our prayers have been answered. I prayed a Drew McIntyre prayer that this thing would finally end. And it finally happened. The Bullet Club have finally split away from the Acclaim. They turned heel again. They beat up Daddy Ass. They beat up Max Caster and his dumb ass. And they beat up poor Anthony Bowens. So now the Bullet Club are officially heels. They beat up everybody, including Darby Allin. So now he has to climb Mount Everest on one leg, you poor dummy. But the Bullet Club Gold is officially back. And it's only a matter of time before Juice Robinson comes back and they'll be in full force. But I'm happy about this, and it's very good to see the Bullet Club have finally ended this bang bang scissor gang nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, you have Chris Jericho tagging up with Hook. They're called Lion Hook, and for some reason Chris Jericho is still coming out as the Lion Heart. So yeah, there's that. And they're teaming up against the Gates of Agony and Khan and Tolo Leona. And, you know, I wasn't really paying attention. I apologize to my Cameroon brother, Khan. And Khan was the one that ended up, you know, getting beat. He tapped out to the Red Room because there was one spot at the end where Hook had the Red Room locked in. And Jericho had the walls of Jericho locked in as well. And Khan ended up tapping out. And I was like, oh, man, that kind of sucks. Something else that sucks is the fact that you have Chris Jericho challenging Hook to a match next week. I don't know if the FTW Championship is on the line. I hope not. But yeah, there's that. And the last thing I want to talk about is Kyle O'Reilly having his first match back in over 2 years. He's going to be wrestling this Saturday on Collision against the bounty hunter Brian Keith. And there was even one spot where the Undisputed Kingdom, mostly Roddy, came up and he did the Kyle. And you know, Roddy dapped up Kyle and he said, if you want to do this on your own, that's cool, bro. We support you. And Kyle looked like he's got to do it on his own. So Kyle's going to be doing it on his own. He's going to be having his first match back in over 2 years this Saturday on Collision. So with that being said, guys, this was this week's episode of Dynamite Big Business. What did you think of the episode? Are you excited to see Mercedes Mone in AEW? Who do you think her first feud is going to be against? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you excited to see the Bullet Club officially heels once again? Let me know. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Peace. I'm out. Peace.